Joining me from Indianapolis is a global affairs analyst, Kunle Falowo. Thank you so much for joining us on World Now. What do you make of Moscow's accusation of West seeking to pipe pressure on Iran over drones allegations?
Thanks for having me. Basically, when you have two rogue nations trying to destabilize world polity, this are bound to happen. The Western allies will continue, as far as we know, will continue to mount pressure, not just only on Iran, and also it will continue to mount pressure on any form of foreign entity or any government that seems to be supporting what's going on in Ukraine. In the United Nations, they just concluded UN summit. We were already aware that about 143 countries are saying that they detest what Russia is doing in Ukraine. The war is illegal. What Mr. Putin is trying to achieve is not commendable. It is against the international laws and violating the territorial integrity of Ukraine as a country. So Iran just supporting Russia is for their side is strategic because they need the funds. If you look at the backdrop of what's going on, as in Iran, particularly when you look at the protest that's recently rocking the country, it also caused for concern. And again, the Western allies will continue to mount pressure on every country that seems to support the Ukrainian-Russian war.
Well, EU leaders are actually preparing to begin a two-day summit as they bid to find a joint solution to tackle the energy crisis unleashed by Russia's offensive in Ukraine. What issues do you think will be brought to the table?
One of the most important context we're looking at also is the fact that we're going to the winter season. It's going to be very cold. It's going to be a freezing temperature out there. They're going to need a lot of electricity to heat up their house, their apartment, the cars, and everything. So this is the time. This is more like a defining moment in the life of the European Union, and as Ukraine as a country. So why is this not strategic? It's very, very strategic because Russia is intentionally sabotaging the electricity grid in Ukraine, which will make it very difficult for citizens to get electricity, and that way it will further complicate the already existing tumultuous situation in Ukraine.
Very quickly, help us understand what Putin's martial law, what it means, and what next exactly for Ukraine war?
Great question. So the martial law will, don't forget that the places that he has broadcast and declared the martial law, the just annexed areas, supposedly the referendum was conducted, and what the Western allies has described as a sham and an illegal referendum that annexed some of the regions of Ukraine and took it over to the Russian side. Now, the martial law will basically mean that the Russian military will be pretty much in charge of civilian, will pretty much take over the entire community, the entire villages, and the entire areas that was annexed. They will be doing the things that the ordinary civilians are supposed to be doing, and they will also be ensuring, maybe security on their side, and to ensure that the Ukrainian side does not take over or not, take back that area. So the military are in charge of those areas until further notice. So by and large, it's an ongoing war, and the military people will be taking over. They will have much authority over those illegally annexed areas, at least for the time being, until anything else changes during this war.
Right. Global affairs analyst Kunle Falowo joining me from Indianapolis, United States. Thank you so much for your insight on this. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.